Hallelujah. So, recently I mean, discussed with Elijah and even Tim about was it next season you tell whatever. So, trying to gain some clarity on how our relationship to be to be deal with, especially our time how to be spent. So, and relationships should be further. So since you took some very meaningful time aside, did that yesterday. You said you were fasting and praying, so I guess that was in the middle of the day, so it must be from morning, right? So something happened. So so let's go from there. You know everything on your side.
Yeah.
I want to hear stories, obviously. You said you took some notes, right? So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yesterday I took some time prayer and fasting, and the Lord revealed to me some things concerning Dad. Dad showed me your text that you had texted him and said for me to
Yeah.
pray about those things,
Yeah.
and I surely did.
Mm.
And in my quiet time, the Lord did reveal to me those things. I texted you, as well as a word He gave me, which was, now's the time to bear fruit.
Oh.
That's what He said.
Oh, wow.
And the context of that I received was that the time of growing as a seed and taking root,
wow.
and sprouting and branching out, but now is the time to come to actually produce something. That was a word I had yesterday.
Yeah.
And after some more prayer last night, I had a vision. I guess I could say it's a pretty short vision, but not too small. I think it's very
meaningful.
Meaningful though. It was you and I. We were in this very beautiful area on top of a hill, and we were building a house together.
What? Seriously?
And the vision it went into much detail on each small part we were doing. We were building this house very, I don't know how to say it, we weren't just throwing things together. We were really, really taking care and consideration in each little thing that we did.
Measured.
And we were smoothing the wood. We were making just very precision and careful.
Yeah, the word came to me, the meticulous.
Meticulous.
Yeah.
And we put this. We were building this house together. And I remember that. And I remember such a sense of joy while doing it. You and I were very content in our work. So
okay. Yeah.
That's that. And I think that definitely has to do concerning our relationship. I'm not sure how quite yet, but so those were the things that the Lord showed me yesterday.
Are you sure those things was with Dad? Yeah.
Not the vision yet. The vision was
last night.
Yeah.
What about the morning?
Yes. Things that happened in the morning, and I did share with him.
He must have a discussion with you. Can you give me some feedback on that? So.
He rightfully a little concerned about me being pressured into thinking things.
Sure. Well.
That's what he said. He's not saying I did that. He was just giving me that concern.
Yeah.
And then he just asked how the Lord revealed that to me. He was asking about those things, and we just kind of went over what the Lord spoke. And he didn't have a whole lot to say about it. I think he was in thought. So yeah.
That's wise. Hallelujah. Oh, that's only 5 minutes. You're done.
I mean, it's not over.
Okay, go ahead then. I'm teasing you there. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think that was just all from yesterday. Something that I told my dad the other night that's been really heavily pressing on me that I've vaguely mentioned to you.
Okay.
I think it has to do with, I mean, that's why I definitely need some some discernment and wisdom on it.
Okay.
It might to do with my calling, but the Lord, what was, it was multiple times that I had heard this. It was, even in some dreams, I think. I think the Lord saying something about a work that needs to be done in Asia. I don't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I had heard that. I don't know what that particularly means.
Asia is big.
Yeah.
So, which region you know? Not in China. So
yeah, China.
You think China?
Not just China though. I don't think.
Southeast China. Southeast.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know the geography a little bit. Okay, yeah. There's Asian Minor. That's Asia as well. That's Asian Minor. Then called Eurasia. Eurasia is Europe and Asia.
Yeah.
That's Russian border. China have a war going on. That's trans between Europe and Asia. Body. Then there's South Asia. So that's India and Pakistan and South Asia. So Middle East is Middle East, but it's part of it, into Asia as well. So so Asia is one of the biggest continents in the world. So if not the biggest, I think it's the biggest. It's
the biggest. Maybe Africa.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So yeah. So then there are surrounding nations circle most like the body of then continents, because China is like American occupy much of the North American continent, South American deep, and China is the same way in a way. Facing Pacific, so there are peninsula and there are island nations in like a string, so north is Korea, North Korea, South Korea, then Japan, then next Taiwan actually, in the war. Then back to the south, directly to the south region, according to China direction, like the Indonesia, Philippines, Solomon Island, those kind of nations, so yeah. So a lot of people, a lot of ethnic group, a lot of history, even a lot of religions, so they have more complex religions in that region than anywhere else. Maybe not sure, but maybe one of the most complex place, because they have a Muslim. Indonesia major is Muslim nation, so they're Buddhist, like Thailand, Vietnam. Thailand is Buddhist, so officially nation Buddhist. So Bhutan, Laos, Cambodia, Laos, Bhutan, and Burma. Burma is, it's all those most like have huge Buddhist traditions. So, so the India have Hinduism, so Muslim, right? So of course there is Pakistan. So I'll just give you a rundown of the nations. If you're vision or dream, whatever impression you have, idea what that.
I'm pretty sure that the impression was China.
China.
More in that area.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Wow. So you need to learn Chinese now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to and a false pressure to you that's God, right? So yeah. We're not concluding that. I'm talking about that you had to receive directly from God, search with God, see what's going on. Yeah. There's a Hudson
Taylor. I'm reading that book right now. Yeah.
Oh.
After I told Dad these things a few nights ago, he recommended me read that.
Yeah.
So I've started.
He had a calling your age, I believe. Heard he's going to be a missionary.
Yeah. I read that the other night.
Yeah, it's like, crazy, huh?
It's kind of.
Not even us. We're mature believers, so and after that he said everything he said he's like to do. He's trying to make sure he went to China. It's crazy. I don't want you to do that, but at least you can learn something, prepare for the day. So. Well, your vision. This morning I was thinking about. You see, the Christianity we're familiar with, most of the time you guys allow the idea of Christianity to inform what it means to be a believer, a member of God's body, right? So to have relationships, so they are good desires, wonderful desires. I'm talking about the framework, right? So let me explain to you. It's like you go McDonald's, you order food, you know the regime, right? Then you go to Chinese restaurant, what have you. Totally different kind of food, totally different even order system, the cooking system different, right? So,
right.
So as you go to McDonald's, do you see don't ask the waiters come just to order for you?
You just go get your food.
Get in line, right? So you just intuitive, right? So if somebody sitting down thinking, oh, I'm gonna have somebody to ask me what I should order, he pretty much gonna walk away. He's hungry or frustrated, so because nobody will do that for him, So he had to learn what this how this restaurant is wrong. So in a sense, that's a very rough but simplistic example. Is that when you grow up, the people around you, I'm not criticizing anybody. They do their Christianity. It's like already in a kind of restaurant. Then they say, this is how we order our food, this is how we eat, this is what kind of food we expect, right? So maybe the same food, so let's see another restaurant that maybe combined together. Have you heard it called a chain?
Chain restaurant?
Chain. Yeah, I mean it's a Chinese restaurant, Panda
Express.
Panda Express. I don't know what's the restaurant.
Yeah.
But they now they don't. It's like a go there in line, order your food, and right, make sense to you. So there is a changeable model in traditional Chinese restaurant, serving differently, right? So making sense to you. It's almost combined together, So there's a mixture there, hybrid, right? So, now that is what happened to Western Christianity for the most part. They don't do the things the Bible tells you to do in terms of building the church. You grew up, home church is a strange idea, right? So, you go to church, what are you thinking first? Is a building, right? Second is a Sunday, go there to spend the day in worship or whatever, is you listen to sermons, right? Yeah. So then the second is relationship build. Oh yeah, we do our thing. I'm not saying bad or good. All those are most likely are good people.
Right.
But that's traditionally passed down, generation after generation. So we said that's how we do church. That's how we do relationships. Well, that's this community, if you will, but your parents and others. And some may know, some may not, but your parents, for sure, for this reason, said, yeah, we see. This is not they try to build something themselves. They said they wanted to practice about authentic thing, so they recognize a pulpit, pews, then segmentation or departmentalization of a religious life, not even a spiritual life. It's because religious life is like a work life, right? It's part of your work. Nothing you do.
It's just part of your regimen.
Yes,
schedule.
yes. Most go to churches not because they have a spiritual need themselves, rather what?
Not because it's Sunday.
They need the family. They need to have a community. They need.
Right. Yeah.
They need to get your life together. So. Making sense to you. So that's by nature most likely has bypassed the reason and the form. The flow, how church was formed in the early days. Ian says my point. So we go to church because it's tradition, because everybody expected us. A good family is supposed to go. Not because I have been touched by the Lord. Let's see. I don't want to disqualify people from anything. I'm just saying, right? So even those touch the Lord, this is what you do, right? This is how you serve people, make it sense to you. So, so it's naturally the commingle. I mean, there's no difference almost. Making sense to you, especially membership, every day sitting down, listening to all this, and you, that brother's spiritual, that brother have heart for the Lord. Well, that is a compliment. Brother said, every brothers are supposed to have the heart for the Lord. That's the basics. So why congregate else? Why you go there? Making sense to you? You're not supposed to be there if you don't have the heart for the Lord. I said, I have heart for the family. I want my children to be this and that. That's noble, lovely, but it should be secondary. Give you an extreme example. I have this wonderful brother, I don't want to mention his name, but he was stepping as a youth pastor or director or whatever for the church your dad used to, in Austin. Your grandpa used to be a youth pastor for that church, basically. So after that, he has a gentleman, very lovely. I have a good friendship with him. And there we go. This is all his books. He gave me the whole set. Commentary, very generous to me. By the way, he has a heart for China. I mean, when he was young. But he never fulfilled his mission, his calling. At the time I met him, is because they were saying we become friends. He's scared his wife to a lot. Yeah. His wife is a very nice lady, but she don't want to go to China. Yeah. So he eventually did not able to go to China. So she make a point to support Chinese missionaries, So, so that's when I interact with people. Being a missionary in China, he always introduced me to them. Some Bible translator go to China, translate the Bible. That he's in the circles with him. Anyway, so he's a wonderful person. So we get to know each other, so more and more. It was interesting how he was introduced to me. He introduced to me has nothing to do with Grace Covenant, It's introduced because we have mutual friend, the same birthday. With the friend tried to teach me the Lord those days. I was Chinese, and I was very excited. He introduced me all of the spiritual relationship with saving life. James was the one. They used to spend time together. And so my friend said, "You got to know this Chinese homeless guy." So he introduced me to James, because James was known to have a heart for China, So we met, spent time together. Then I think the next Easter's, Christmas, he's a very kind person. I was still homeless. He he makes sure that I just celebrate Christmas with our family, you know. So man, all the children, sweet people, you know. So anyway, so I've been getting to know them more and more, you know. So there's something about healing, you know. One day, his wife was sick.
Mm-hmm.
In the night was. But you know, he can't go to the hospital. I don't remember just the things going on. So basically, he said the Lord told him to give me a call. So he gave me a call in the night. I said, you know, he wanted me to pray, but he didn't want me to do anything. I said, well, what? Hold on the phone, go to your bedroom and lay hands on your wife to pray. So, and I remember the resistance why, because she don't believe this stuff, you know. Chris Covenant don't believe this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and she was healed. So I'm getting him excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pray for his sister. His sister walked out to death. Yeah. Anyway. So, you know, I mean, it died, you know. We pray for her as she's walking out, you know. And we tell her to obey the Lord. I mean, she did not. She was a very stubborn lady, obviously. And don't want to clean up. So, and she died a few days later. Yeah. It's a tragic story. So, but because of those kind of experiences, I have built a very close relation with this brother, you know. So when they ask, why do you go to Austin? What's going on here? I said, we moved from either Houston or Dallas to Austin because of job situation. After they moved here, like you try to give you a background how people go to churches, okay? So this is not one. This is most of the church goer people do this.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all the recipes. Man, which restaurant to go? So, yeah. Then you go to the restaurant. Then you have to fill in what? The rules of a restaurant, right? And you have no idea. You're under a regime. How to do relationship now.
Yeah.
How to walk your walk, right? How to serve God. What it means to have a spiritual people in your life. Who is your family, spiritually speaking? You don't even think about the spiritual family to begin with. If you're confused, the church you choose is your spiritual family, you're in trouble, right? Sorry. I'm just talking, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Because a man who said, I just go to church because the socially required. Because my wife, my children needed some good relationships. That's obviously not your spiritual family for this man. But the Christianity has said, you must take care of that man, he's your brother. I'm talking. All his children are supposed to be a part of your family if you like to integrate with you, right? You have the right to integrate with your children. That kind of church, right? So, what God called that in the Bible? Let's try to share something with you. Spiritually called marriage. It's something God hates. You know, He tell the people, give the promise that what He told them to do. Chase every stranger out there, right? So at least make sure they yield to your culture, they yield to your way of doing things, you know? They don't maintain their own ways. If they maintain their own ways, you need to eradicate that. Well, is that we do things? We think about doing things along the terms? No. We give excuses. Someday, somehow, God can touch them, you know? Well, you already lost your culture. What they're doing is no different. They feel that's what they're doing is right, you know. So, so there's no difference. If you say no, that's maybe a wrong way to go about relationship, go about things of God, and say, don't judge me. don't tell me what to do. You're not loving me, not caring me, right? So, but the key is that they never come here for your culture. They try to conform you. Rather than said, I like your culture, I want to be changed, I want to be conformed, can you teach me, right? So that's lost your age. Now, Elijah, this might be something for you. You want to serve the Lord?
Yeah.
Okay, then never follow those people. Never let them tell you what to do in your life. That's what it means to be salt, to be light. You're supposed to tell them what to do. If you have God as a salt and a light. That's what it means set apart. If he in the beginning said, no, I'm no different. Then what he set apart for? That's not judgmental. That's a fundamental understanding what it means to be a people of God. Now, if it's a church is by such way formed, what have you, you will never have the confidence, the awareness in the part of culture. Therefore, you will try to make the Chinese restaurant look like McDonald's. Well, that's what happened to Christianity. Therefore, the congregating integrity family was never because of love of the Lord, agreed to truth. It was a social magnet, social conformation, right? Like we all go to school. We all have authority. Let's have a wine tasting party. This case is no. Why? Social causes, social reasons, social needs, or life needs. It's a need to conform to a tradition. Have a family, have some congregation, have a fellowship, have a children find some discipline, yes. Some good friends maybe. Have you heard that? Most likely it's most beautiful people. But that's the reason why they congregate, right? So I need a beautiful family. I need a fellowship. My family need this. I need this. I need friends. Well, my children need a community. That's interesting, huh? That's your answer. Well, I didn't hear anything about God called me to this community. God's doing something with my children, right? I need help. I need spiritual help. I'm not criticizing her. Today she's fully agree with my assessment. I can help in the beginning. I'll do something. Now she recognizes she needs help herself. Not try to ridicule anybody. You see the reality happening. It gets into spiritual help,
right.
Even life help. And she don't feel bad about it at all. So the reason to transition is because she recognizes, the way church doing things is not the culture or the flow of relationship we are doing, right? So actually the things she longed for, trying to found in church, it was never able to supply. It's not on the menu for her. And finally it's like, oh my God, this is what I've been longing for. This is what I need for myself and my family. For all my life I've been longing for this. Make sense to you?
Yeah.
So it's not marry one person. Therefore she don't treat it, you guys married a natural family, right? Treat your dad, your mom as married. Oh, that's my siblings. Like I tell them what I think. So no more, right? So do they? No, they build a spiritual relationship. Make it sense to you, put a spiritual conversation and vision of a life together at the front, which is God people supposed to do, right? As people. And I make it sense to you, that's called the power of the culture change. As culture changes, everything changes. Back to the story for James. Because I want to impart something to you, okay? So he said he got into Austin, tried to found the church. So he went to about 10 something. And He was excited because he finally found his good church. He excited to find the church. He had been there church at that time. It's over decades. His children grew up there. That's why he will always use ministry with his children, He will. He said the reason I want to go to church is Grace County just started a school, they have strong children program. Then he told me on one side, it's the same side story, okay? One side is that I want to go to be a missionary, to go to China. All my life prepared to do that. On the other side, what? You hear he's willing to give up the job, even drag his family out of the do that. On the other side, he is put his family in this culture restaurant. Also, I look at him, at this time I have a little bit experience, a perception about Christianity a little bit. I was thinking, this is such incompatibility. I'm not criticizing as this wonderful friend, but I said, when I was thinking about it, man, you go to China, what are you going to do? What are you going to offer? What do you have to offer? Just because you want to go? If you have a calling? We're stuck in this tradition. You choose a church. I heard you said I want to go to China to be missionary, but you don't choose a church where you need to be.
Yeah.
For your children, who? For his children. Now that's the best. Best care his life, right? His own children. He would do everything for his children. He changed job. He changed location. He's uprooted the family for children. Then he go to any church he feel gonna benefit children. But what's the standard? The standard of the spiritual one or the natural one? Informed by what culture, my point. So that's a culture what I call the missionary, Western Christian missionary culture, right? This would be to be missionaries. You get found in Taylor. What is the brother's name? What is?
Who are you talking about?
The missionary.
Oh, Hudson Taylor.
Hudson Taylor. You can see the same struggle he went through. Right? Because he hear God, other people support his missions, try to do say mission work in China, the law become a hindrance for him, right? So and he finally had to let it go. Father Taylor has to let it go. I think the man dressed like Chinese people, he started that. Eventually he is influential. He translated our Chinese Bible. I think so. That's for sure. And anyway, long story short. So here is back to the original topic. If you catch, I hope I don't spend too much shit. I digress. Back to is that what culture you carried, what culture you grew up with, to inform you to be a missionary, to serve the Lord, to be one, have relationships in life in the Lord. I hope you don't like that brother with our input. So I'll just give you the Christianity we have when you grow up with the people around you, including your dad, your mom. I still think they struggle. Okay? They actually wasn't taught wrong in terms of culture, how to congregate. Is that not the lessons they learn in their life, in the big part of their life? You can see, so. But there are people around you, like your grandparents' generation. They take those things for granted. That's what they stuck with. So, yeah, we know what we're doing. and they never look at it. No. They actually don't know what they're doing. I'm not in their heart, challenge their efforts. I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about the culture formation, right? So, just like go to McDonald's, you eat good, you spend you treat all your guests. You did a noble thing. And you even cook the food for people. But don't tell me you know culture of a China restaurant. That's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense to you? Nobody deny your efforts. Nobody denied to have a good time. Nobody denied you did a sacrifice either. But God's culture in the very beginning are built differently. As Jesus, as disciple did it, right? And his apostle did. So their interest is not serve the needs of the people. Their interest is to populate the culture. Different story. I have spiritual need. I have life need. My children need. My husband need. I need. Need. Which word it came from? You like that? I need to preach the gospel. I need to be a missionary. That's wonderful, noble, wonderful. God does give us those things, and they definitely are made from God because He created you. You have needs, you know. But should you, if you're going to serve the Lord's kingdom, His culture, equivalent, okay? You're not going to serve Him because you have a need to serve. So,
yeah.
How you serve what the people think you need. You serve one person's need. Who is that? God's need. God desire the same thing in this case. To have His way, His culture be understood by enlightening people. He called those people His students, His disciples, His sons. Don't you know you shall be taught by what? By God. That's Jesus taught. You want everybody taught by God. In one way, the opposite discipleship, like being taught discipleship. So on the other side, Hebrews book said, without the proper discipline spiritually, right? You know, under a certain regime or order, right? Making sense to you? A ministry. I try to allude to that topic, okay? So you're illegitimate children, he said. Do you believe that? You can be born human being by illegitimate and enter any society, like I am. I'm a citizen. Illegitimate. People treat it illegitimate. So it's a reverse that order a little bit. God kingdom is not something we dictate. Who to include, how to operate. You conform. You learn, right? You be disciplined. You taught. You know what I mean? You learn to conform to it, right? So make sense to you? So that's what it means. And the conformity is not oppressive. It's rather willing sacrifice. You have to see the goodness of it. That's what Abraham saw Melchizedek. He saw, oh my God, this a king is manifesting a culture of carry a worship, and God is with him. More than that, look how peaceful his kingdom, his reign, is full of peace and righteousness, right? Amen. Both himself being righteous and peaceful, making peace obviously. His people, his vision for his kingdom or his culture are one that no other kingdom, no other culture can compare to. Abraham's like, oh my, I've been longing for this. For this reason, I uprooted myself from Babylon, right? So, wander around, trying to find how in the world where the other people can do right things, you know? And I see in my heart. That is a vision we should have. When you be a missionary, be a preacher of God's gospel, you must know which culture you present. Not Western Christianity, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing them. You know my heart. I appreciate Western Christianity. As good people, I think. But we should not think Christianity in the West is a culture to go, right? Once you move ahead.
It's definitely not what I. Yeah.
Yes, yes. There lies is here.
Basically, we're not. Sorry to interrupt.
Good, no,
just to understand what you're saying, basically,
yeah.
we're not spreading what's here. We're not spreading what's already here.
Yes.
We're spreading something new.
Yes, you have to learn, right? If you grew up in what Christianity, think about to be a missionary, to be a member of God's people, to receive spiritual consolation in life. Who informed you? Who taught you those things? Is your dad opinion, understanding, and counsel those things stand out as a singularly different than others? Or is it one of those list of options? Not put you in the competition game, you know, so, but discernment. Yes. Which game you play, which restaurant you go, you should know. What message you proclaiming? What house you bear? What fruits you bear? Those are good questions, right? So, you know, once you lay the foundation, I mean, who start building a house without blueprint? But most people do in the spiritual life. And to argue is death. I said, I know, God will teach me. God has told me. The incompatibility is just startling. I mean, it's so comical. I just told you that brother, right?
Yeah.
He is allowed to be a director or youth director, right? He definitely feel he is qualified to be missionary to China. So he's a peer. If I'm his spiritual leader, or counsel us, hold on, man. Oh God, this huge problem. Am I criticize him or reality check?
Yeah.
I don't want him to minister Chinese people.
Yeah.
Which is true. I walk in, met him about 2 or 3 years. The time I become a believer. After a little while, he tried to help me, you know. When our Chinese sessions become our ministry time to those. They're like little students. And they're always weeping, crying, and they share their struggle with me. And it's interesting for me to hear half of their struggle is from the church. Church stuff. That's personal stuff. And nobody's happy in the church. Their leadership in the church. So I ask them, why can't you figure this out? Why you don't talk through? They look at me as if I'm crazy from the outside world. And you know, they would ask me for counsel, what to do, what I do with my job, what I do with my wife, what I do with my standing in congregation, what I do with my children. We're not talking small topics, okay? So, How old I was in the Lord? 2 or 3 years. They come to me, expect God going to speak through me. They know it's not me speaking either. My walk away from that experience, I was just saying, wow. So, because everybody look at them for counsel and right, for leadership. There's an organizer activities. You want me in churches. Wow, this something's it's all right here. I can't figure out those days, but I know something is wrong. Is all this supposed to happen? Like you, am I right? Is that amazing? What do you think you had yesterday when we posed some situation or a spiritual review to you? What happened to you? Did your dad tell you what to do? Me tell you what to do? Who tells you what to do? Are these small things? That's always supposed to be. Then let's repeat so our audience understand, okay? Who told you what to do?
God told me what to do.
Yes, I'm not trying to overwhelm people.
No.
There are 2 different ways making decisions. Seeking counsel. Decide what you do. I think absolutely they are different. One is called the spiritual led. More than spiritual inspire, so spiritual led. Inspire is not good enough. I'm inspired to be a champion in the world. Good for you. Am I?
No.
But to be a champion in the world, at the end of the day, you have to be led by a discipline, a regime. To be there, I mean, the champion entails something. That's why you're a champion. You don't say, I'm inspired to be a believer, to be a minister, therefore I'm good to go. That is a shallow Christianity they have. I'm inspired, I'm called. I'm willing. That's the starting point, something. So, well, this morning I'm thinking about the discrepancy I had with many of the Western Christians still today. Even in our circle, okay, can be blocked. Is that apostle ministry, a master builder, but the literally don't believe we're building a house. And the house can be built by someone in our midst know what to do. So whoever did hit and miss. Imagining we're the living stones, we just somehow magically it's going to fit in God's house. Sure, the Spirit knows how to do it. Yeah, I'm blessed with the Holy Spirit. Yes, I'm a stone in God's house. Yeah. Then ask me, have you understand the blueprint? Ever even show you the blueprint? Have you understand the process? Which process you are? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who is discipling? Who are you discipling? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm a member of God's house. But according to God's standard, the church has said that no one can be God's house without what? Discipline. No one can be God's house without being disciple taught. At least you yield to that requirements, right? That's the expectation. What it means to be member of God's house. That's what it means. But while I did, I've been taught that lesson to the sermon. I studied the Bible. Again, which culture we're talking about? Which restaurant we go to? God's restaurant? Or man's restaurant? So my question to you, yes, you Dan and others is a great help to you. And we're solid in teaching you. I hope so. At least not that fluffy to guide you as a young person, young Lord, in the Lord. But what about you thinking about these things? That's a time for you to recollect. What do you mean to be disciple? When you can disciple others, that's what it means to serve the Lord, right? Discipleship. You can't break in nothing like that just because you're inspired. Let's bear fruits with me. Build a house with me. So the Lord is saying that, yes, I want you to serve me in this mission. I want you to send you as missionary in this region. But I want you to what? Start with what? True discipleship.
Yeah.
So this morning I'm thinking about the differences. I'm so glad you shared the vision with me. Wow. I don't see many Christians want to be built up in the house of the Lord. It's almost naturally thing. I'm already part of the house of the Lord. By the way, I know how to build the house of the Lord. Let me tell you how to do this. I mean, I don't see anyone in my life don't tell me that. As a Christian. So far. Especially young believers. It's incredible to me. The Christianity we have is so dysfunctional, so upside down. It's so foolish almost. It loses the basic common sense. It's like you, let me say this to you, okay? I hope it bring you out, yak you out of delusion. Okay? It's like you enlist in the school. You pay all the tuition, you're excited with learning, you pay all the textbooks. You sit on the seats in the class and said, hey, let me teach. Yeah, that is literally most of the believers do.
Yep.
Will you do that? The question is not criticize, it's an evaluation.
Gotta learn first.
Should you be troubled by those people? The lawless ways, presumptuous ways. Are you going to be used by them? Are you going to agree with them? Are you going to be influenced by them? Are you going to let them tell you what to do, what is right or wrong in the house of the Lord? They have tried all my days to tell me how to do this. What time to reverse it, right? Time to tell those people, you may have never been taught properly in peace. One question I ask you, what do you mean to be a disciple? What do you mean to be disciplined in the Lord? Simple question, right? I think Hardin Teller's difference with Hardin Teller as those wonderful Western missionaries that God used mightily wonderful. They naturally imbibe this in the early days. They know what that means for them. It's intuitive for them.
Yeah.
Like I am I? I intuitively know. I mean, I just new to this. It's impossible for me to tell anybody what to do. I have a lot to learn. I can help, but I don't expect to teach. You know, so making sense to you? Let me give you another picture of this, okay? For you to understand the regime of building you up that is expected of you if you in this time. You go to a house, beautiful mansion, and there are wonderful people live there and have laughter, joy, and sharing. What is sometimes you have a party, right? Feast, but sort of like, no, bad party.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you have a beautiful, happy relationship. Nothing, anything missing. Perfect family, perfect fellowship, perfect. Everything's great and nice. Now you're familiar with all the things. You know how to serve food. You can even host a party. You may be even the father, mother. Now my question is that house sitting on the foundation, right? Built by stones, beams, right? Somebody gonna build that before all this happened. This is the mother know how they do interior decoration. The father know how to fix a pipe, how to put the light on. But then only after they understand the bigger picture the house was designed for, but that's why they maybe move into it, right? So, or maybe they order to build it, or to purchase whatever it is. They know this is suited for my life. This is for my family. But it'd be foolish for any parents, any member of the house said, "Oh, I had this vision of a beautiful family, but I also got the blueprint for the house. I built the house." So is God's congregation. Many will flourish in God's culture. You get what I'm trying to say to you? Many knows what to do to decorate, to beautify, to fill with laughter and happiness the house. The few knows how to how to build that up.
Yeah.
So this can flourish. So is in God's spiritual life. He said, "You will be built out like a what? A temple. Then the Lord's glory, His presence can be." Just like you have a leaking house, a broken wall, a fractured window. You want to have happy life? Nobody can, huh? Not safe, not storm proof, weather proof, whatever. I mean, linking rain, and the rain, you can't sleep. So there are two different services in the Lord. To be a builder of God's house require another kind of discipline, learning. Most of the believer, or most people receive spiritual life. It's not bad. It's allow the Lord to flourish, but it's need based.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. God wants to provide them. God wants to provision need. But if you have a calling, and the calling to build a God's house, so you realize that that's going to be a huge for you as well. Means, do I just want to enjoy the provision, the happiness, the goodness, something given to me by God? Or I wanted to build something that the thing can continue to flourish. So, if the house is a culture based on two things, right? The teaching that uphold the culture. The second is application of that teaching. Leave it out is a lifestyle of in the culture. Making sense to you? Yes. So we need to learn to do the two things. But greed is one. To learn to collaborate with God, right? Collaborate with Jesus Christ to build up God's house. More than a living stone, I want to be builder. What's your calling in last night? What's the wishes about?
You and I building a house.
Yes. That first has to happen in you, right?
Mm.
So if your calling is to China, you're not gonna have a lot of helps, right? Would you? You have to disciple them to be your helps.
Yeah.
I want you to pray now. So your word were sharp and wise, quick to understand. But I'm gonna conclude the conversation with something I handed when Noah came to me. He was word quicker. So one day I said, Lord, this is running to some place I don't want to go. I love to spend time with you guys. It's horrible, you know. I don't have that a lot in my life.
Yeah.
I really endear and cherish every moment. The delight, just, okay, let's move him on, do whatever needs to be done. Tag along. But after a while, I think about it. No, that's not why God have me into your guys' lives. There's something greater than that. Than personal affection, personal good time. Especially with Noah, that was the case. So I don't want that to be missed out. So I asked God, how I can strike a conversation, change their expectations in your mind, how to process relationship. We sit by the seaside and the bench after walk a while. The Lord said, He prepared a long time for this topic, which I want to talk to you. It's now time to talk to him, to let him think about this difference between three things. Just like the day I taught you. How to learn. So the same as the word casual topic, I hope you don't think that casual. The topic I addressed to him is, we have 3 words to describe a person is capable mentally at least. What do you mean to be smart? What do you mean to be intelligent? What do you mean to be wise? Well, wonderful to see you, Elijah. With your dad's help, as a help, the Lord's influence on you, you have begun to develop the appetite, the altitude for godly wisdom. Think about the 3. Smart, intelligent, wise. Yourself. They're all exciting. Carry certain encouragement to us who excel in those things. But what God wants us to be? A smart person? Intelligent person? Or not? Go ahead, pray and conclude here.
Lord, your word, Lord, consumes all. Lord, your presence humbles all, Lord. Lord, I thank you for this understanding, Lord, this wisdom. Lord, I pray that I would not take it like an earthly man. Lord, I pray that I would take it like a heavenly man, Lord, one led by the Spirit inside me. Lord, one led by a Spirit who responds to you, Lord, and is loyal to only you, Lord. Lord, I strive to be loyal to only you, Lord. Lord, I pray that I would continue to grow in these things, Lord, as I do seek you each day. Lord, I ask for a greater wisdom and understanding of these callings you have on my life.
The beautiful, mighty ones.
Lord, I want to follow them, Lord. I want to serve you, Lord, and be an honored son in your house. Lord, I want to build this house, Lord. I want to build it for you, build it for others. Lord, I want your words to flow through me. And Lord, I want to stand by what I speak and know what I speak. Lord, and be a willing student to be taught.
Hold on, you'll stumble. don't let the things here shared to oppress you, to restrict you. You young, flourish, okay? There's carry wheat. That's because have a higher. I mean, you build a house on the mountaintop, right? Is that not true? So remember where you built. Amen? I will not build it on the plain ground, am I? In the valley.
Build it upon the rock.
Yes, yes. But there's a valley, there's a plain ground. If you had to be there, roaming around a little bit, you know, so don't. But build your life, build your spiritual life on the higher ground. Don't then be a bird, a religious rigidity to you. Elijah, don't be religious. Okay, God is everywhere. A bird can teach you, a fish can teach you. Be like a David learned, not from religious people, you know. It's interesting, huh? David learned from real life. So am I. Bible is later come from the Lord. Am I? Bible is meeting ways as a verification of the thing I already learned. So I'm not challenged Bible. You know what I mean, you know? Because you learn things. This conversation you will learn a lot. The sermon will never teach you. I had those kind of conversations many times in my life. Many people in my life. Before I know the Lord. I have those kind of people in my life. We just don't know it's God. Or wisdom God. But we learn it anyway. And we practice it. We honor those things. So you don't tell me that's not God. So it's you. You were saying loyalty. Can I give you something on that? Is that only you're loyal to God? That's great. But that's religious a little bit. You're loyal to your family. Loyal to your dog. But don't make it idol before God. But you learn loyalty to God by being loyal to the people around you. How you know you're going to be loyal to God if you don't practice it every day? And the reflection will be loyal. People become loyal to you. So don't tell me I'm no loyalty in God or for God if people are around me not loyal.
Yeah.
That's not true. So fruits. And I want you to have a greener mind, a wise mind, not merely informed by ideas, notions, good thinkings, good statements. Get into the essence of things, not the appearance of things. Amen. You're sitting here. Everybody said, "Oh, what a beautiful spiritual time, spiritual relationship." They miss the point.
Yeah.
The point of the Spirit is to open your life to be a son, to be discipled in substantial ways. That's the point. That's greatest honor and joy in life for any man. It should be. So you conclude your prayer, but try to continue to open your mind in a sense, if I can. So go ahead. It's a very meaningful moment.
Yes, Lord, I want to be a willing servant before you. Lord, I just pray for my heart that it would be humble before you. And my spirit would receive from you, Lord. Pray that I would continue to seek you in these things. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, that's it. Remember, a couple of minutes left. I want to share something with you. I can't conclude today, so you carry away with this much encouragement. 3 things. 1, we saw the cross, am I right? The cross reminded me, many years ago I asked God for the sign when I don't know Him. I was balancing, are you real? You know, are you just a pipe dream? I asked for the sign, you know, and the sign wasn't, you heard my story, right? You don't know that story? It's a cross between the cloud and the sky. So why we meditate on this? That's not an angel. I said, what? He said, remember when Elijah, I was painting this city in the garage. You walked in. You called it what?
Cross.
Yeah, that's reminding me that way. In that moment, I don't think I told you then about it. But right, I was meditating on that. There's something going on with Elijah in my life. I don't understand. You were taller, you're very able to speak. I never heard you speak actually before that day. So the first thing I heard is that you was just cross, you didn't see a whole sentence, You then had to climb on the ladder. I asked you, what's me? What do you mean? You were pointing. I had to come off the ladder and look at it. Today is your day. Oh, our day. Is that amazing? Master build is the topic this morning I had. To teach us how to build. Can you make that up? So bless you, Elijah. Okay, so yeah.